Welcome to Nissan Stadium in the heart of Tennessee, the site of a dominating Colts victory on Sunday, 41-20 over the Tennessee Titans in their first road action of the season, first division game of the season. Impressive in all three phases, a complete complimentary performance for the Indianapolis Colts. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. We have to start with Jonathan Taylor, a special performance. That's back-to-back special performances out of Jonathan Taylor. What we've come, it was vintage Jonathan Taylor. Maybe not so much what we saw from a year ago, but this is what he's still capable of. Still one of the best running backs in the National Football League. Zaire Franklin saying after the game, doesn't get the respect he deserves. And Jonathan Taylor, when told that quote from Zaire Franklin, saying, look, all I care about is winning, all right? And that's what we love about Jonathan Taylor. 102 yards on the ground on 17 carries, 3 touchdowns, including a ridiculous, jaw-dropping 46-yard touchdown in the third quarter of Sunday's win. That's just 4 broken tackles, a spin move, just ridiculous out of Jonathan Taylor. The engine that makes this offense go, and when it's working in concert with the pass game, that's when it's really a thing of beauty. And I got to give a shout out to this Colts offensive line. Some question marks around this group coming into the season. They've answered the bell for 3 consecutive weeks. No, the Dolphins aren't great. No, the Titans aren't great. But continually, teams bring pressure against Daniel Jones, and continually he's making the right reads, making the right checks, and seemingly unbothered by blitz packages that other teams are bringing at him. Again, extremely efficient on Sunday, 228 yards, a touchdown, multiple third down conversions, a 17-yard scramble to convert a third down on one of the Colts' first drives. Again, just a complete performance out of this Colts offense. They did punt finally, so there's, if you want to hang your hat on something or pick a negative on this Colts offense, they punted finally. 20 drives into the season it took to week 3 for this team and this offense to punt. Michael Pittman Jr. led the way with 73 receiving yards and a touchdown, a 20-yard touchdown on the first drive out of the halftime break. Spreading the love on this Colts offense, that's what we've grown accustomed to too. It can be Tyler Warren one game. It can be Alec Pierce one game, who went out of this game with a concussion and did not return, by the way, something we're going to have to monitor. He's going to be in the protocol this upcoming week. Josh Downs could lead in receiving one game. A.D. Mitchell didn't even play much in this game, and we know what he's capable of in the camp that he had for the Colts. Again, just can't say enough good things. Are the Tennessee Titans great? Absolutely they're not. But this is the way you're supposed to play against inferior opponents. That's what the Colts did on offense. And as you can imagine, a happy Shane Steichen, a happy Daniel Jones. And listen to what Michael Pittman Jr. had to say after the game, because I think it's telling for a guy who's been in this locker room for many years.
I'll start off, great team win. We talked about being relentless and disciplined for 60 minutes this week. That was the focus. I thought our guys came out and did that. I thought our offensive line did a hell of a job protecting, giving up no sacks. Our defense getting 4. We talked about starting the game fast. Kenny Moore getting the pick 6 to start. Couldn't have started any better than that. So shout out to the guys, the coaching staff, everybody involved. Takes everybody in this league to do their jobs at a high level to go out and execute. And I thought it was just a great team win for us on the road. Injury updates, Alec Pierce got a concussion, and then Kenny Moore has a calf right now.
Shane, just talk about Jonathan Taylor's performance and that late run that kind of sealed it.
Yeah, it was awesome. 3 touchdowns on the ground. The offensive line paved the way for him. That big-time run there at the end, that was the old-school ISO play. I know I talked to you guys a little bit about that during the week. I said we put in old-school ISO, and it was a hell of a job up front, Warren leading, and then obviously 2-8 breaking the tackles and getting through there for the big run. It was fun. It was like old-school smash-mouth football.
How good does it feel when you put something in like that, you talk about it all week, and you see it come together in that fashion?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's a credit to Jim Bob and offensive line coach and assistant offensive line coach and Tommy, our tight end coach, and those guys, coming up with that deal. It was awesome. So it takes everybody, like I said, everyone doing their job at a high level, one day at a time.
Most points the Colts team has scored in the first 3 games of the season since 1958. What's working for this offense right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I think obviously we're running it well. JT, had another big-time day. I think huge credit to him and how he's been playing. And then the guys up front, and they're blocking. And the run game's been big. And then guys are getting open and making plays in the pass game with, some explosive plays and stuff down the field. So I think a lot of credit to the guys up front. I think it starts there in the run game and the pass game. And then, playing off of that.
You guys have been playing at a really high level for all 3 weeks now. Have you expected things to come down to earth a little bit, or it seems like there's really been no weak spot in the offense so far?
Yeah, I think we certainly expect to play at a high level. I think every time we step out there, every time we get the ball, we expect to execute and go down the field and score. So, no, I don't think the expectation changes at any point, whether we're playing, regardless of how it's going. So, yeah, I think that stays that way, and we'll see. There's still things we got to clean up and work on. I think still, some missed opportunities, things that weren't as sharp as they should have been, and we'll go back, look at that, and clean it up.
So that touchdown, you've been thinking about that run for kind of all week, putting that in, like the ISO play there?
Oh, definitely. Every single week we always, try to see what looks are advantageous for us, but ultimately it comes down to executing them on Sundays.
How about Tyler Warren with the lead block there? Did you see the replay, and what did you think of that execution, I guess?
For me personally, I would think that's a tough block. It's a one-on-one block, mano a mano. So for him to be able to execute it like that, that's big time. That's big time, especially, asking a rookie to do that. And that's why those runs and those plays happen when each and every single man, whether it's up front or on the edges, you guys seen Pittman all day, that's how those runs happen.
It seems like they were selling out there, kind of stop you early on. Did you have a feeling something like that would break?
Definitely. Teams will probably tend to do that, but it's just about taking what they give you, trying to be as efficient as possible, eliminating those negative runs until eventually, you wear them down.
Michael Pittman Jr. said it feels like his team's never executed like this since he's been here, and it feels like you guys are just clicking. Do you feel that? And, being 3-0, what's it mean to you and this team to get off to a start like this?
It means a lot, especially with, some of the older guys, Quentin, Grover, guys who've been here for a while that's been working to try to build something here. I'm just happy that, I'm a part of, that hard work finally paying off for them. And it's something that we got to continue to do, though. You got to prove yourself each week in this league.
JT, Shane mentioned how obsessive Daniel is about football and how he, never really shuts it off. How have you seen that kind of manifest over time since he's been here?
That's true. Daniel will say what's up to you,
but
he'll definitely, he'll hit you with, hey, man, when we get this play, this is what I'm thinking. You just walked in. I just walked in the building. I'm grabbing breakfast. I didn't even have my iPad yet. But that just goes to show you his level of commitment to being excellent. And making sure that every time we go on the field, we know each and every single possible look we could get, and we know our checks.
How important is it for this offense that he's only been sacked twice this season?
I think it's a confidence booster, not only for him, but also for us, because it knows that the work that we're doing each and every single day of practice, after practice, once we go home, it's paying off on Sundays. So it's just kind of that little bit of gratification to say, okay, continue doing this, continue to find ways to get better, but the schedule and the routine you're on right now is really benefiting you.
JT, Zair's kind of been saying all week that he thinks that you don't get enough attention around the country. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, Zair's my guy. He's always one of my biggest supporters. I'm one of his biggest supporters as well. But really all that matters to me is winning games. Whether, people want to believe that, we're a top offense or not, all that matters is us to keep stacking wins. And as long as we keep stacking wins, the record will speak for itself.
Shane always talked about, throw to score, run to win. I don't know if he said that to you guys. Do you think that's what it looks like? And can you talk about how the two phases are playing off each other, the run and the pass?
Like you mentioned, it's all about playing complementary football, not only with offense and defense, but also within the offense. Like I mentioned, guys in the backfield, we got to help the guys on the perimeter. Guys on the perimeter have to help us in the backfield, and we all have to help, Daniel in order to make sure that we're all in our spots, executing our assignments. So executing that throughout a game, I think is very critical because everyone in every position is going to have their time, their moment in the game where, hey, we need you guys to come up big. And that's where, the mano-a-mano and the man-on-man comes into play.
Does that balance make you – how hard does that balance make you to defend?
I think it's real tough. If I was a D coordinator, I would kind of be pulling my hair out like, what are we going to do? We can't really key in on one thing. I don't know what to call. But again, I don't have experience as a D coordinator.
When we're talking about this offense being versatile, how big is it that you've got a bunch of receivers out there who are willing to block and be physical out there?
That's big time. You guys saw it today. A lot of these runs, they become explosives because of them. But I always feel like you get rewarded because then at the end of the day, when they go and sell out for the run, now these guys, they get their one-on-one matchups. But I think it's a testament, though, of their level of unselfishness to go out there, put their bodies on the line, for the run game. But ultimately, I feel like they do get rewarded when, these guys sell out and then they get those one-on-one matchups.
You always know that these division games are going to be so physical. That's that's the brand that Tennessee plays in particular. How much satisfaction do you guys take from each and every week priding yourselves on being the most physical team?
Absolutely. I mean, that's something that we always aim to do is just dictate the game, and I feel like that's what we did today.
Touchdown for yourself today. What do you guys continue to develop as an offense with Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I mean, we just keep on getting better, right? I mean, as we keep playing, we get a better feel for each other and what we think that we're going to do, and all of our meetings that we have just show up. I mean, I feel like we're executing at a rate that I've never done in the NFL, so it feels great.
To that point, it feels like it's someone else every week. Tyler Warren might lead in catches, Josh Downs, you might. What's that say about there's so many different weapons on this offense and the unselfishness of you guys as well?
Yeah, I think that's what makes us good is we have so many hungry dogs that are starving to eat that somebody's going to make a crazy play. So that's just how it works out. We spread it out to everybody. Everybody's getting catches, so everybody's just staying in the game, and I think that helps us.
You said you executed at a level that you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Does it feel like this team's just clicking and the vibes are good? 3-0, it's got to feel good.
Absolutely. I mean we're doing stuff that I've never seen before, and we've never felt like this. So we just got to keep on doing it. We got to keep that confidence up, but we also got to keep that work up too. So
just before the start of the second half, I noticed that Coach Steichen came over and looked pretty passionate in terms of some instruction that he was given to wide receivers.
Yeah.
What was his message there at the beginning of the third quarter?
Yeah, he's just saying that we got to just get going, and we're going to start passing it, and that's what we did. We kind of did what we wanted to do in the pass game. Now I think Alex's catch was a catch. He caught it, rolled over, and then it came out. That was 3 seconds, but that kind of sucks. But I thought it was a catch.
73 yards and a touchdown for you today. You had the game-winning touchdown right here last year. What is it about playing in Tennessee that you love?
I don't know. It's just a great place, the stadium's great, turf is great, end zone's great, so you just got to score, right? So
having a big game like you did personally, how does that help you moving throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to play well, for the team, and I even felt like I could have done more, but we have so many weapons that I don't have to, when you got JT just gonna run the other team out of the building, then hey, just give it to JT, right? So, we're just going to keep rolling and keep battling and keep working and hopefully get to 4-0 next week.
Very excited to be 3-0, but, something I kind of tell myself, if we lose the rest of the games, then it doesn't really matter. So the next important one is next week. So just keep building on it, not getting too high or too low, but just keep our heads down, keep working.
What's the it factor about this team that makes you still undefeated after week 3?
I just think there's just no ego in here. Everyone's just coming to work each and every day, something to prove and, chip on his shoulder. And, it's kind of nice to kind of be in the underdog role a little bit. And, we're going to continue to thrive in that and, just, like I said, keep our heads down, keep working.
3 touchdowns for JT. Can anything stop him at this point?
He's a great player. Luckily we have, great people all around, great coaches and put us in a great position. But, he's a real special player and, just really fortunate to be able to block for a guy like that.
What has Daniel's ability to avoid sacks done for this offense to start the season?
Yeah, he definitely sees the defense really well. He's an experienced veteran. So, he's just been doing a great job and we're just, it's great that he can extend plays and, we're just going to try and keep doing our job to, block for him and the receiver's going to keep getting open and just everyone just doing their job. That's the biggest thing.
Can you just feel that trust between you guys up front, Daniel, and maybe even JT and pass pro just really growing over these first 3 games?
Yeah, I definitely think the first 3 games is definitely something to build off of. Feel confident with it and it's something, like I said, not growing complacent with it, but continue to grow, continue to get better because, there's definitely going to be a lot of challenges down the road that we're going to face, including next week. So, I mean, we just got to keep growing, keep our heads down and keep working.
What is adding?
How have you seen this offensive line answer the bell, though, through 3 games? It just feels like Daniel's getting time to throw, JT's getting lanes, and there's some question marks about this group, but it seems like you guys have answered those through 3 games.
Yeah, like I said before, I mean, no one has any ego, and, it's just kind of nice that it really helps us to become one as a unit and not just a bunch of individuals, not a bunch of names, but we're a union, and I think that's the most special thing about that. Tony and Watt put us in a great position each week, and, we get great coaching from them, and, just the work that everyone puts in together, constantly wanting to get better and not growing complacent is the big thing.
Now we got to talk about this Colts defense. Obviously the offense winning the day, but it was a nice bounce back performance out of this defense. The Titans offensive line is not great. There's no question about that. But the Colts, 4 sacks, 2 of which by Tyquan Lewis. How about Neville Gallimore getting in there and getting a sack as well? Kwity Paye with number 4 for the Colts. And Kenny Moore, you want to talk about a leader, starting fast, staying disciplined, like Shane Steichen preached all week leading up to this game. A 32-yard pick 6 to start the game. That's going to get your blood pumping. That's going to get this game started off on the right note. That's a big-time play from one of your captains, Kenny Moore. He left the game, unfortunately, late in the game with a calf injury, another injury we're going to have to monitor. Both Alec Pierce and Kenny Moore moving forward to a big test against the Los Angeles Rams. Travarius Ward, Laiatu Latu were back, and they made their presences felt. Laiatu Latu still not getting the sack yet, but he's getting hurries. And Travarius Ward, multiple pass breakups in this game. He was on Calvin Ridley like a cheap suit. It was good stuff to see right there. So the defense with 4 sacks, forcing a turnover. Yes, they allowed 20 points, kind of a garbage time touchdown down the stretch for the Tennessee Titans, so a nice bounce back against an inferior team. That's what you want to see. That's what good teams do. Zaire Franklin, pleased with the vibes, as is DeForest Buckner after this game. And Travarius Ward is just a phenomenal quote. Take a listen.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on being a complete team. Physicality is a part of the game, and we love that part of the game. So, we had to set the tone early, and thankfully we was able to get the win. Great team win on both sides of the ball.
How did it set the tone when Kenny comes up with the pick 6 right away?
Oh, man, Kenny, that's just the type of player he is. Special, lightning in a bottle, and it struck early, got the team going. Listen, when he gets the end zone early like that, I'm like, look, you might go for 2, might go for 3. You know how he usually gets. So I'm glad Kenny was able to get that play early and get the offense going.
I know you have campaigned previously for Jonathan Taylor. What should people take notice of based on what he did today?
Yeah, I don't think really it's a question at this point. I think he's the best back in the league. Just his combination of power, speed, change of direction. He's been making plays on the backfield. And honestly, I think the biggest improvement that he's made is in his pass protection. I noticed in the training camp. He's a complete back. There's nobody else playing like him right now.
A 3-0 start, a win within the division before the end of September. How has this team positioned itself through the first 3 weeks of the season?
Man, we're just going to continue to get better, man. We got a lot of things to clean up, a lot of things to get better. Shane just preaches just being the best versions of ourselves every week. So we're just going to keep getting better, keep continuing to grow and learn. But Lou always tells me it's better to learn after a win than a loss. So we're going to keep learning after a win. So.
Zaire, this week 3, for whatever reason, has been kind of like a trap week for some teams in the NFL. You guys preach focus and discipline all week. What does it say about this team to come out with a 21-point win after kind of preaching all that?
I think at the end of the day, it really wasn't even about them. It was about us. Today was just an opportunity for us to play our brand of football, offensively be efficient and take care of the ball, defensively play physical, execute and take the ball away. So, and then we even got a punt in today. So congratulations to Rigo. So, I think it was just a complete team win, and we just got to continue to build on it.
What does a win like this send to the message to the rest of the league?
I hope it's sending a message to the division that we're ready to go. So, like I said, we got to continue to grow, continue to build, and we're going to get better every week after week.
Yeah, we executed well on those parts. There's still some things we need to clean up fundamentally and technique-wise, and executing some of the plays. That's why they were able to, obviously get in the red zone a couple times, and we weren't able to get off on some of those third downs. So there's definitely some stuff we still need to clean up.
Kenny's pick 6 really set the tone right at the beginning of the
Definitely.
game. How does that elevate you guys to get the rest of this win?
Oh yeah, no, it was. We talk about starting fast, and you can't start, faster than that. So it was a great start. It was a great, he felt the pressure and he threw it, and then Kenny made a great play.
Do you just feel like you guys are clicking right now?
Definitely. But like I said, there's still some things, especially on the defensive side, we can clean up to execute even better. And
I mean, I feel like we're playing some pretty good complementary football right now.
You're perfect through week 3. What is that message does that send to the rest of the league?
No, yeah, I mean, it's honestly, we're not really worried about what everybody else is saying. I mean, it's like we've been talking about, just, going 1-0 each and every week and, just being process-driven instead of result-driven.
You've been around the league for a while, though. When you start a season like this, what does it do to your confidence? Stacking wins?
Yeah, it definitely brings a lot of confidence into the locker room, into the building, and you just got to continue to feed off of that and build off of it.
Mooney, just 3-0. How does it feel? It feels like this team's clicking right now, all 3 phases, playing complementary football. It feels like a good vibe. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I feel it for sure. I think everybody feel it, even the fans feel it. Good energy from my fans today, even though it's a away game. Players, we happy as hell right now. We feel good. It's been a long time since the coach been 3-0. I don't know how long it's been, but I've been 3-0 damn near every year of my career. But it's a good feeling, man. Everybody, everybody loving it right now. The vibes super high. But like I said, we can't get complacent. We can't get happy yet. You know what I'm saying? It's a long season, 14 more games to go. So it don't mean nothing if you start 3-0 and go, 0-14 the next, 14 games. So we got to just keep going strong.
How do you think Daniel Jones sets the tone just for the entire team, as far as also not being complacent? Because Shane was saying how obsessive he is about every little thing.
Yeah, Danny Dimes, man, he balling again. I'm happy to see that. I think all his fans happy to see that too. I think he gonna have a real good year. He damn near comeback player of the year already. This season, everybody doubted him, but he been showing out already. So I'm happy for Danny for sure.
Another happy Colts locker room. We're getting used to it. There's no doubt about that. Jake Arthur from Locked On Colts joins us, and Roundtable Sports, of course. Don't forget about that. 3-0 for the first time since 2009. Clicking on all cylinders. A division win, your first road win. And in a week, J.J. Stankovic kept saying this after the game, and I agree with him when he was asking players and Coach Steichen, in a week where there was so much letdown and so many trap games, better teams losing to inferior teams, Colts take care of business and get a 21-point win. What did you see out there?
Absolutely, they had to. We talked about this leading into this game. I mean, it's not a must-win, but if you want to feel validated, the Dolphins are not a great team, obviously. The Broncos, that's a reigning playoff team. But if you really want to earn respect around the league, you have to handily win a game like this, against a winless team. And the Colts went out and they made Tennessee look exactly how people thought they did. So the Colts, they got stamped on this one. We're still kind of waiting for the shoe to drop in certain areas that hasn't dropped. I guess Rigoberto Sanchez punted finally, and Spencer Schrader missed a kick. So, I think you can live with all those things if it means, you're getting efficiency in the red zone with some short touchdowns. And, you keep up this really clutch passing game where on third downs, like third and longs, you're able to convert. There was a couple of them early where I think they were at Tennessee's 48-yard line both times. Jones rips out of a sack and gets a 17-yard run, finds Josh Downs for a 29-yard completion. Like, it's so alarming that how different this team feels. And like you said, we're just not really used to it.
No, we keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. And maybe it's worth mentioning that, who knows, the Titans and Dolphins may, A, be searching for new head coaches after the season, and B, maybe in the top 5. But be that as it may, they're beating them handily. It's not like they're squeaking by these two inferior teams. There's no doubt about it. So 3-0, we'll take it. Not apologizing for wins here in Indianapolis, okay? Let's talk offense, all right? You mentioned it a bit there. Daniel Jones, again, just a workmanlike performance. 228 through the air, a touchdown. Just, it looks so clean. And Michael Pittman Jr. said something interesting after the game. He said they're executing like he has not seen before on offense. And Shane Steichen could not say more about the way Daniel Jones is at the line. 6 different plays in his head, ready to rock, and always is getting them into the right look, into the right matchup, into the right play, whether that be pass or run. It just looks so clean on offense right now. And then JT, special in this one. What'd you see on the offensive side?
Yeah, it's bizarre that we're 3 weeks into it, and every single week you can see a perfect marriage between the play calling and the execution from the players. You can see a clear plan every single week throughout the entire game. Because Shane Steichen, throughout his career now, 3 years in, the guy can script a first 15 like no other. The Colts have been very good in that department. But now that they have a quarterback who is an extension of Shane Steichen's brain, it's like they can execute and drop anything and adapt throughout a game to anything. And the Colts are pressured so much, and it does not matter. They're not giving up sacks. I mean, the run game took a little bit to get started today, but eventually that dam broke. And again, Jonathan Taylor goes over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. So what's the weak point on this offense? Is there one?
I know we were concerned about the offensive line. maybe concern's a strong term, but if there was one piece of this offense we were maybe looking at, it was the offense. Skeptical, yeah, certainly. But they've answered the bell. Again, are the Miami Dolphins and the Tennessee Titans world beaters when it comes to their defensive lines? No. But you're right. I mean, an NFL team sending pressure is an NFL team sending pressure. They're picking it up every single time. Or Daniel Jones is getting out of a sack, or he's making the right read. It just looks so clean offensively. I can't say that enough for the Colts. 41 in this game. It's just ridiculous what they're doing. And JT, again, special. And it's someone different leading the way receiving, it feels like, each week, too. Michael Pittman Jr. back on top of the saddle, a 20-yard touchdown to start the second half. All right, defensively, 4 sacks. Kenny Moore obviously got the festivities started with a terrible throw by Cam Ward to start this game. I mean, my goodness. But Kenny Moore saying, thank you very much, 32-yard pick 6. Again, they're getting home to the passer. They're making plays when they need to. Again, just it's a nice performance. It was nice to see Ward and Latu back out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see their impact. I mean, we're still waiting on that first sack from Latu, but he's getting pressure. Had a nice run stop today where he tripped up the running back in the backfield. Trevarius Ward had at least a couple pass breakups. You know, there's almost nothing that goes wrong when he's on the field. So with how rocky last week was against Denver, very much a breath of fresh air to get Ward back out there. It just helps everything work so much in concert. The pass rush, the coverage, the defense is just smothering when those two things are clicking. And you see how important the pairing of Latu and Ward really is to the Colts defense.
Right, yes. The pass rush working in concert with the secondary. It's a beautiful thing when it's happening in the right way. So a 41-20 win for the Colts. Best test of the season, especially after today, although a tough loss for the Rams down the stretch of that game against the Eagles. But be that as it may, on the road, different time zone, solid NFC team. You know what? We've come to expect that this Colts team can do it, but what are you looking for ahead of that game? I know it's a bit early, but that's going to be a tall task.
Well, I mean, the recipe probably remains the same with Jonathan Taylor. I mean, we've seen what the Rams have given up, and I mean, this year probably not as bad, but like last year when you looked at how the Eagles would really attack them, it was Saquon Barkley just destroying them on the ground. Right. And the Colts have a comparable player there in Jonathan Taylor, so it should come as no surprise that that's where the game plan starts. But also you got to see, you know, the Colts off play action. They've been doing very well in that department, how that goes. Got to check in on the injuries as well, though. Alec Pierce left this game with a concussion. He's been a big part of the Colts' ability to get big plays in the passing game. So hopefully he's able to play. You know, regardless, they need to do whatever they can to take care of him. But that could be a hit. We'll see if A.D. Mitchell can step up if Pierce has to miss the game.
Right. Yeah, didn't see much of A.D. Mitchell in this football game. Hopefully that will increase as we move forward. But a win is a win. 3-0 are the Indianapolis Colts after a 41-20 drubbing of the Tennessee Titans here on the road. Jake Arthur, fantastic as always. You can get him on Locked On Colts, Roundtable Sports. You will not be sorry that you did. Be sure to keep up with our Colts coverage on air and, of course, right here on WTHR+. We'll see if the Colts can keep this thing moving as they head out to L.A. next weekend to take on the Rams. We'll see you next time.